The approval ratings for President Biden are in, and they're not looking good for his re-election bid. Do you guys think that with everything that's happened recently that the president is looking strong for 2024? Something that's close to happening is the resignation of one of the president's top staff members. Could this also be linked to all the secret documents being leaked? Voters are voicing out their opinions, and they also want someone else to resign, namely George Santos, and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen wants the IRS to be completely redone. Will that mean more taxes for us? How about just eliminating the IRS? Yellen has already said that she's excited for the $80 billion that the IRS is about to receive. Are you guys looking forward to getting audited by 87,000 armed IRS agents? Just comment a quick yes or no on that one. And Social Security may get a boost as lawmakers are now focusing on making the government benefit solvent. Now, before I continue, please take a second, smash the like button. That always gives us a boost with the YouTube algorithm and for your daily dose of the truth when it comes to what's going on in the stock market, Washington, D.C., Social Security, the housing market, the actual state of our economy, and everything that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below of this video. We know that the government is filled with truth-challenged individuals. It's just how some of them were wired. They say something today, and tomorrow, they pretty much forgot that they even promised you anything. An extreme case of being truth-challenged has been seen with Representative George Santos, from denying his own words to twisting everything that he can to sound sane. Santos has been given out a masterclass on lying. Voters in New York are not impressed, though, as the majority of them are saying that he should resign and let someone else take his spot. Now, according to a recent poll, quote, voters overwhelmingly view Santos unfavorably, including 55% of Democrats, 56% of Republicans, and 59% of independents. Again, downstate suburbanites lead the state 76% in their unfavorable view of Santos, end quote. That ain't good. I mean, you have to wonder, though, just how many lies have happened in government with little to no repercussion. Now, on the topic of repercussions, top Russian officials are warning of a global tragedy if more allies provide arms to Ukraine. A close ally of Putin said, quote, supplies of offensive weapons to Kiev's regime would lead to a global catastrophe. If Washington and NATO supply weapons that would be used for striking peaceful cities and making attempts to seize our territory as they threaten to do, it would trigger a retaliation with more powerful weapons, end quote. That almost sounds like a very subtle threat of perhaps introducing nuclear weapons. Now, on that note, and making our way back home, fear continues to rise for the working American. In a rare visit to the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos took part in an editorial staff meeting recently, which pretty much alerted their journalists that layoffs are coming. Union members were quick to discuss the importance of them being united. In a statement, they said this, quote, we hope that the Washington Post owner, Jeff Bezos, has heard employees' appeals for a stop to these impending layoffs. As far as we can tell, are not financially necessary or rooted in any informed business strategy from publisher Fred Ryan, end quote. Bezos is currently the second richest person in the world. Now, since we're already talking about money, disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was released on bond after two individuals put up a total of $700,000. Now, we still don't know who these mystery sponsors were, but it's come out that one of them put in $500,000, with the other one chipping in $200,000 just to get SBF released. Quite a lot of cash for someone who literally stole from millions of hardworking Americans. Do you guys think that we should know who these mystery sponsors are? Here's an update that isn't much of a secret. President Joe Biden's low approval ratings at 40%. Many are saying that this could very well be detrimental to his 2024 run. And with his slew of issues regarding secret documents, Democrats are worried if Biden is the right man for their party in a year's time.
Which is looking at latest polling numbers for US President Joe Biden. His approval rating has stayed close to the lowest level of his presidency this week. The two-day national poll carried out by Reuters found that 40% of Americans approve of Biden's performance, while 55% of Americans do not approve of Joe Biden's job performance. Taking office in January 2021, in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, Biden's term has been marked by the economic scars of the global health crisis, including soaring inflation. And the latest poll signals how about a third of Americans, including 1 in 5 Democrats and 2 in 5 Republicans, see the economy as the most important problem currently facing the country. The other issues concerning Americans are crime rates, the healthcare system, immigration, abortion rights, and inequality.
You know what's insane though? Some analysts are saying that the classified documents may not even affect his run, saying that there's been so many scandals in the government recently that people are just tired of it all. In other news, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders isn't tired of pushing for better government benefits. According to his Twitter account, quote, I will be reintroducing my bill to extend Social Security's solvency for the next 75 years and expand benefits by $2,400 a year. How? By scrapping the cap. Today, a billionaire pays the same amount into Social Security as someone making $160,000 a year. Let's end that absurdity. End quote. Do you guys agree that Social Security is crucial for Americans? I see comments of those who are on subsidies, SSI, SSDI, and those applying for SNAP and EBT benefits. It's crazy to think. The Social Security increase for 2023 was clearly not enough and is not keeping pace with inflation. By providing $200 a month, it gives these people a better fighting chance to keep up with the costs and not rely on swiping their credit cards at Walmart or Target. But what do you guys think? Also, how much in Social Security benefits do you think billionaires are pulling in every single month? It's going to be interesting how Senator Sanders hopes to tax billionaires, as U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is already excited to see more IRS agents tax the middle and lower income American. According to Janet Yellen, quote, I'm excited about legislation that's passed, and I want to make sure that it makes the difference it should make. And that includes the IRS. That agency needs to be completely redone, and it's a big task. I want to see that work progress. Maybe it's not the sexiest kind of stuff in the world, but I think if you want to make a difference in the world, you have to follow through. End quote. Believe me, there is nothing sexy about being taxed for every penny that we make while billionaires get through the tax code legally. Hey, why aren't they focusing on making the tax code simple and removing loopholes rather than hiring more people to tax us? There's a thought. Now, speaking of hiring, President Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, is now expected to resign. Klain has been the president's chief of staff for the past 2 years, and this marks a high-profile exit for one of President Biden's officials. Succeeding him is Jeff Zients, a former White House health crisis response coordinator who many are saying made massive wealth in healthcare. According to a report about Zients, quote, an examination of the companies that made Zients rich paints a picture of a man who seized on medical providers as a way to capitalize on the suffering of sick Americans. In the end, it seems to have all paid off, as rumors swirl about Zients succeeding Ron Klain as President Biden's chief of staff. His corporate record raises serious questions about his fitness to serve in an administration that has attempted to market itself as a champion of working people, end quote. And in the news that I swear I'm not making up, former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi summoned priests to her San Francisco home to supposedly rid it of evil spirits after a man allegedly attacked her husband there. Her daughter, Alexandra, said this about the predicament, quote, I think that weighed really heavy on her soul. I think she felt really guilty. I think that really broke her. Over Thanksgiving, she had priests coming, trying to have an exorcism of the house and having prayer services, end quote. What do you guys think about today's updates? Any of them jump out at you and has you wanting more information? Comment them down below. Information is a powerful tool. It's used for many different things, but I generally use it to inform our small but committed community. I'd also like to provide you guys with some information that could possibly help you out. Now, if you're like many countless Americans who continue to struggle with credit card bills, housing payments, rent, and everything you continue to pay more for each day, then maybe we should hang out. These are just some of the topics that we talk about in our Patreon community, but we can focus on budgeting. That's a great way to start things off. But there's also the possibility of creating multiple streams of income through side hustles or small businesses. And the opportunities completely open up by wise investments in things like the stock market, even real estate. But feel free to join us over in the Patreon community if you'd like to learn more. But before I go, please drop a thumbs up for the video. Also subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one.